We're going to begin with breaking news tonight. Dozens of firefighters working what's left of a structure fire in San Antonio. This is actually at a strip mall near Wurzbach and Evers.
That's on the city's northwest side, right near the medical center. Firefighters were able to keep those flames from spreading. It was contained to that restaurant that you're looking at called Kebab Land. No one was injured, but the cause for the fire is still under investigation.
The other big story tonight, the weather. A look at radar shows some activity in the viewing area.
Now, this is the first night that we were expecting some rain, but there's a but. Let's bring in meteorologist Sarah Spivey. Sarah, obviously the rain chances changed since we saw you last during the 6 o'clock.
They have. You know, in order to get storms, you need the ingredients. And not only do you need the ingredients, but you need them to come together. And we had the ingredients, but they just did not come together out west as much as was anticipated. But it's not all bad news because we continue to see rain in the forecast through Wednesday midday. And even out there right now, we do have some light rain showers around Wilson County. We're going to zoom into Floresville and near Pleasanton. This light rain shower pushing northeast into Poth. Meanwhile, there is a storm that's moving closer to Tilden coming up. I'm going to track that storm for you. It's not severe, but it could be producing some small hail as well as frequent lightning. And again, even though the chance for big storms is going down, there is still a chance for some passing showers and perhaps a few rumbles of thunder in the overnight hours. 40%. Tomorrow, 30%. For some lingering morning showers and some spotty afternoon pop-up storms. And then look at that. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, we've actually been able to raise the rain chances Tuesday night into Wednesday morning because of a cool front. And that cool front kind of puts all the ingredients together for us Tuesday night into Wednesday. So coming up, I'm going to show you the future track of what that front will bring in just a few minutes. Steve.
Thank you, Sarah. 3 days of possibility of rain. We need the rain, but not everybody's happy about it, especially people in areas that are prone to flooding.
That's right. The night team's Lee Waldman went to a mobile home park on the southwest side where people are telling her that they're just ready to pack it up and go.
Got to get out of the canoe. Yeah. It's horrible. It's a mess.
The signs of water erosion are obvious when you look at the roads here in Lazy Acres Mobile Home Park. People here say they're ready to go in a moment's notice. The second the rain starts falling, they're worried that the water is going to rise and get inside of their mobile homes. Adrian Enzwalda has been here for 2 years. He tells me the front of their mobile home park is the worst.
The only problem I can see is up front because there's nowhere the water to go and it just stays there. There's no drainage around here.
We were in the mobile home park just as the rain was starting. This video from last July shows just how high the water can get in the area. Other people living here who didn't want to go on camera say they're ready to leave if the water rises.
It's going to happen again, but I don't know how much water we're going to have this time.
Not far away in the Cinco Lakes neighborhood, neighbors are welcoming the rain after their power troubles from last September were fixed by CPS Energy.
Oh, it seemed like every time there was wind or the slightest amount of rain, the power would go out.
For hours, not only for a few minutes.
Nelson and Tessendorf said they were a part of a community meeting with CPS Energy and are thankful even the lightest storms won't lead to a neighborhood-wide blackout.
Knock on wood. No more power outage. 2 weeks ago we had a short flicker, maybe a second or so it was out, but since then, no.
Yeah, since then it's been
good. That's good. Yeah.
Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
All right, it's kind of a different problem here. If you don't have water tonight in San Antonio, that may be because you're in an area that was affected by a large water main break. SAWS confirms that it's working on a 24-inch main break near Tezel Road and Culebra. That's on the far west side of San Antonio. Now, several of you have called us here tonight. Now, SAWS says that crews are working to restore water service as quickly as possible.
To other news, a man found bleeding in the middle of a neighborhood with $500,000 home. Bexar County deputies want to know who shot him. Right now, investigators hoping surveillance video or witnesses can help solve this mystery. This is on the city's northwest side on Cedar Knoll. Deputies say the man was shot in the hip, and why they need help is because this guy's refusing to cooperate with them. That man was treated at the hospital.
Now we're learning new information tonight after several children were pulled from an apartment that was filled with trash and infested with rats. Investigators have identified the adults living with them as Danielle and Paul Kinsey. Both of them are charged with child endangerment. Witnesses called investigators after noticing a strong odor coming from a unit at the Palm Tree Apartments on Montgomery Drive. The night team's Patty Santos spoke with neighbors.
We do have a lot of cockroaches. They'll come down, then they leave, then they come back down again.
Neighbors next to this apartment unit say they were forced to endure the smells, rats and insects coming from inside this home, where Bexar County Sheriff deputies found 4 children living in filth.
Piles of trash bags full of old food, feces, animal and human in the apartment, insects, literally rats crawling over the detective's feet. We couldn't figure out how it is that kids have been living in these conditions.
Neighbors say the couple and kids kept to themselves. They also say there were dogs there too, but never saw anyone step outside the unit.
Hard to come out. I mean, DoorDash come, deliver, and close the door. That's it.
A tip led detectives to the smell in the second floor so rancid they thought there was a decomposing body inside.
The investigators that are pretty seasoned investigators that are used to dealing with things as bad as decomposing bodies said this is one of the worst they've ever seen.
4 children ages 2 to 13 years old were placed in the care of a relative. Children neighbors say they often heard but never saw outside.
A little boy, a little girl up there be just running around. You can hear them jump in the middle of the night like nobody cares. Everybody's asleep.
And neighbors tell us they never heard anyone fighting or saw anyone being abused that would have led them to call authorities earlier. Tonight, investigators tell us the children's mother works at a local hospital and the man is a European migrant who is the father of 2 of the 4 children. Steve, Stefania.
Thank you, Patty. Judge Nelson Wolf providing an update after his COVID-19 diagnosis. Today, he took to Facebook to thank everyone for the well wishes. He says he's, quote, feeling better and looking forward to getting back to work in a few more days, end quote. San Antonio Police Chief William McManus also dealing with COVID-19 last week. He said he was dealing with just mild symptoms, though. A local infectious disease expert says it's not time to let up on COVID precautions as the number of daily cases is on the rise. The Metro Health dashboard shows 304 new cases reported today, 95 COVID-19 patients in the hospital tonight. Dr. Barbara Taylor, an associate professor of infectious diseases from UT Health San Antonio, says the number of new cases could be deceiving because people taking at-home tests might not report their results. While the number of hospitalizations may appear low, Dr. Taylor says she's concerned that that could change in the coming weeks.
For folks who are not vaccinated or who might have a compromised immune system and be more at risk for hospitalizations, we really wouldn't expect to see an increase in hospitalizations for a couple more weeks.
Dr. Taylor wants to remind people there are options to protect yourself, like vaccinations, also washing your hands, wearing a mask. She says that is important as we look toward Memorial Day weekend.
An Edwards County grand jury indicted a county constable for leaving the scene of a crash, and officers arrested 56-year-old John Maxwell earlier this month, almost 6 months after that crash. That indictment says that Maxwell did not give his information to the other driver before taking off. The other driver's car had more than $200 in damages. Maxwell previously posted his $3,500 bond, and he's now on administrative leave from his job.
Now we move to a look at your headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. Have you checked your car doors tonight? Bernie police say a group of suspects got into 12 vehicles that were left unlocked overnight. One neighbor caught several suspects on his surveillance camera. He tipped off police, who found actually some of those suspects still on the scene. 5 people taken into custody. Investigators also found a stolen car with several firearms inside. Police remind you to make sure your car doors are locked up tonight, and really every night. Now to a trial that put brother against brother. A jury now finding Eduardo Torres not guilty of capital murder. He now no longer faces life in prison. Torres accused in a murder at a local bus stop, but a jury decided he was not to blame. His own brother Leonard testified against him after taking a plea deal for the same crime. Investigators say Leonard robbed and killed a man in 2016. Leonard's plea deal is for 45 years, but is still awaiting sentencing in that case. And don't forget, tomorrow, Election Day in the runoffs for the Texas primaries. Bexar County voters are set to decide a number of races, including who will run as the Democratic candidate for Bexar County judge. State Rep Ina Minjarez is going head-to-head with former District Court Judge Peter Sakai. The winner will take on former County Commissioner Trish DeBerry. Polls open tomorrow at 7 in the morning. They close at 7 at night. Tune in, of course, to the Nightbeat for all the results. That's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash. And coming up, remembering those who have served, how you can honor the fallen by helping carry out a Memorial Day tradition.
Also, promising news for parents desperate for baby formula. Operation Fly Formula is underway. We'll talk about the latest on the federal government's efforts to stock those empty shelves.
And Title 42 is still in place, but Governor Greg Abbott says the public health order is not enough. The promise he's making and what residents along the border are seeing. It's all next on the Nightbeat. Today would have meant the end of Title 42, but a federal judge is keeping it in place as the Justice Department tries to appeal that ruling. The health provision means asylum seekers can be turned away using the coronavirus pandemic and public health as justification. It's been a hot topic for discussion as migrants continue to escape violence in their home countries. Governor Greg Abbott visited the border town of Eagle Pass today. The Night Team's Alicia Barrera was also there to speak with residents.
It's the shallow sectors of the Rio Grande that worry Maverick County residents like Alejandra Medina.
And they're crossing walking, so big groups of more than 100 people have been seen. The thing that concerns me is small kids.
She lives near Quemado, a small town about 20 miles northwest of Eagle Pass, where the governor toured today. Medina believes more patrols may deter large groups of people from passing through her property.
In areas like these, once they cross their river, they can either force their way through this razor fence or find gaps like this one. But Governor Greg Abbott has vowed to fill areas like these as well.
Our goal is to make sure that we have that concertina wire in every inch of the border. The only place that we would be prohibited from putting it would be where federal land may be located, or if there's private property where a private property owner does not want it.
More measures are expected to be implemented in the coming weeks, including trespassing signs and boats to navigate shallow waters. Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
In other news now, help is on the way for families. More baby formula headed to the U.S. later this week. The Biden administration launched Operation Fly Formula to make up for the shortage that so many of us are seeing on U.S. store shelves. The first shipment arrived yesterday. The specialized batch is going to go to infants with a cow milk intolerance. And then a second formula shipment is expected to arrive in Washington on Wednesday.
We are 1 week away from Memorial Day and one nonprofit carrying on a tradition to place flags at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. The group is called Flags for Fallen Veterans. It began in North Texas, but through word of mouth, that group has expanded its services to several cemeteries in Texas and other states. There are already enough volunteers to carefully place flags this Sunday. Those flags will then remain for about a week. But the group still needs about 200 volunteers to help pick up the flags. If you'd like to sign up, just visit flagsforfallenvets.com. You can also help purchase new American flags by making a donation online.
And now we're going to take things outside. Live cam right here, 73 degrees. And you know what? We were hoping that we'd be seeing some rain at this time. Not so much, Sarah, but there's a but, right? Just wait.
Yes, just wait, and especially Tuesday night. All right, Tuesday night, we've been able to really increase the rain chances Tuesday night as a cool front will move through. Yeah, unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, the ingredients just didn't come together. But as I've been looking at this camera off in the distance, we're looking to the south, and every now and then you can see a flash of lightning from some storms that are in Wilson County. I'll show you that radar here in a second, but I want to show you how the day stacked up. Average was the day. We got up to 87 for the high, 69 for the low. As far as rain goes, only 1/100th of an inch of rainfall. You know, many areas saw maybe 100th, 200ths of an inch of rain, but that was about it. Let's take a look at the live radar right now. And you can see those showers and storms south in Wilson County right now. Anywhere there's this line here, there's a flash of lightning. And as I zoom in and tilt up, you can see the flash of lightning there just to the west of Poth. These are measly showers and storms that are pushing into Wilson County here, but they are producing some flashes of lightning. And in the overnight hours, showers and storms like that are possible in San Antonio. So not amounting to much, but you could hear a rumble of thunder. Meanwhile, there's a more established storm out there near Tilden. We'll go ahead and zoom in here. You can see there's really not much here on the radar, but as we track this, it's moving to the northeast at about 20 miles per hour. It'll be close to, again, Tilden at 10:47, so within the next 20 minutes or so. And that's about it as far as showers and storms go around at the moment. But as we take a look at the radar off to the west, you can see that there are a few more showers and storms across parts of Mexico. So we're going to have some pulses of energy that will bring us a chance for some showers and storms in the overnight hours. It's just not going to amount to much. Take a look at the state of Texas right now. We've got one batch of thunderstorms across South Texas, another batch across the Panhandle. And again, this trough of low pressure is why we're keeping a small chance for some scattered showers and storms in the forecast overnight, but the severe weather threat has really been diminished. This low pressure system over the mountains of the Rocky Mountains right now, you can see how much storminess it's producing across the Panhandle. This is our chance for storms Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, why we've upped those chances. So tonight, only a 40% chance for scattered showers, a few rumbles of thunder, isolated activity during the day tomorrow. And then Tuesday night, our storm chances really pop up. 70% widespread storms are likely. Let me show you what I mean in the high-res futurecast. Again, one or two isolated to widely scattered showers or storms is possible tonight in the overnight hours. By the morning commute, that's the same thing. There could be a couple of damp spots out there, but you'd be lucky if you got rain early tomorrow morning. Then looking ahead to the day tomorrow, isolated storms are possible. Again, because we have the ingredients there, even if a storm pops up in the afternoon, even if it's isolated, it could be strong or severe. So we'll keep an eye on that. That'll continue into right around sunset. And then after sunset, this is when that potent front moves through that really allows for more widespread showers and storms, as you can see on the high-res futurecast, after about 10 p.m. in San Antonio and the metro area through the overnight hours and even potentially into the morning commute on Wednesday. So as you plan ahead, the morning commute Wednesday could be messy. So through Wednesday, plan for some rounds of storms, widespread rain, 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches. We're watching for severe wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. Big window Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Tuesday's forecast, isolated showers and storms, 85 degrees for the high, better rain chances after 10 p.m. And then as we head into Memorial Day weekend, we'll just be toasty, 95 for the high Memorial Day.
But let's get through these next 2 days. And let's hope we have significant rain.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Because we need it.
We definitely need it, guys.
Thank you, Sarah.
Hi, Greg.
Hello there.
So the Spurs are unveiling their 50th anniversary logo.
Yeah, it's several of them, in fact, here to help them celebrate 50 years of being here in San Antonio. When we come back, we'll unveil those 3 new logos for you. And also, the Aggies, Jimbo Fisher, making national news coming up. Our San Antonio Spurs unveiled 3 new logos to solidify their home here in San Antonio today. This is part of the Spurs' 50th anniversary celebration that will take place this coming season after moving the Dallas Chaparrals to the Alamo City to become the San Antonio Spurs in 1973. The first is the Texas alternate logo, which connects fans across the globe to the heart of the Spurs home. The second is what is described as a shorthand of the city of San Antonio to highlight our hometown, our region, and our state in just 4 letters. And finally is the basketball badge, which adds the local edge to the on-court look. Game Game 4, Eastern Conference Finals in Boston tonight. Celtics trying to even up this series with Miami Heat. Both teams without key players. Celtics waste no time taking control. On the fast break, Derek White to Jason Tatum for the alley-oop slam. Boston opens up the game on a 16-1 run. White stays hot, this time getting the baseline floater to fall. The former Spur had 10 points in the first quarter. Celtics lead 29-11 after one. They kept pouring it on in the second quarter. Tatum strikes again with another jumper. Celtics double up the score, 36-18. Then later in the half, Grant Williams hits a triple from the wing. Boston in cruise control throughout the first half. They lead 57-33 at the break. That's right. Miami held to just 33 points at the half. Third quarter, more of the same. Derek White with a great feed inside to Robert Williams, the third for the dunk on the Celtics' very first possession. Then the lead balloons to 30, and White finds Tatum in the paint. He hits a turnaround bank shot. 67-37 Boston. The home team goes up by as many as 32 points. They would post wire-to-wire victory, 102-82. Tatum had a game-high 31 points. White in 13 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, while the 5 Heat starters combined for a playoff record low 18 total points. The series is now tied at 2 games apiece. The Dallas Mavericks are on the brink of being swept out of the Western Conference Finals after the Golden State Warriors were able to steal Game 3 in Dallas last night, take a 3-0 lead in the best-of-7 series. That's despite Luka Doncic's 40-point performance that included a buzzer beater at the end of the first quarter to keep the Mavs very much in the game. But Steph Curry was Steph Curry. He lit up the scoreboard with 31 points, including 11 in the third quarter, where Golden State took over with a 78-64 lead, including a step-back 3. And then Andrew Wiggins took over in the fourth quarter, including this huge dunk over Doncic to help lift the Warriors to a 109-100 victory and just one win away from returning to the NBA Finals.
It's going to be difficult, you know. Every game is going to be really difficult. So it's not over yet, but it's not going to be easy. Nothing. The Warriors not going to give you anything easy. So I think we're going to learn a lot, and we're still learning. But, you got to come 100% every game.
You can't give them second opportunities. When you give them second opportunities, Clay and Steph and Wiggins is playing at a high level for them. And they've been here before, so they understand what they have to do, and they did it, tonight.
Aggies head football coach Jimbo Fisher making national news next.